Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. We can't stop, we don't stop, and we won't stop. Because yes, we're through on to the next round, but now we've got another game. And look, I think when you look at the top four race, it could not be more unpredictable than this. I am not cutting us off from the top four race. I know that it won't be easy. I think calling it an easy task is crazy. The way that Atalanta and Bologna are playing, the fact that it looks like they just don't stop and won't stop, and they're continuing getting points. Bologna won yesterday. Milan are playing Atalanta tomorrow evening, so maybe Atalanta can slip up a bit. But right now, Bologna and Atalanta do look on another rhythm. The fact that Atalanta didn't play the playoffs, the fact that Bologna doesn't have a European trophy and tournament to focus on. Bologna looks crazy. They look unstoppable, and so do Atalanta. And yes, of course, it is the case that maybe we should consider a fifth spot in the Champions League, because it looks like if it continues like this, that Italy will get another spot for the Champions League qualifications next year. And I think fifth place is doable. I don't think we're going to get fourth. I've said this. I'm going to continue saying this now. I've said this at the start of the season. I said this when Mourinho got sacked. I said this looking at the transfer window this summer. I never thought that this team was going to get fourth. Maybe fifth. I've got more hopes. I've got less doubts for the fifth position, but it's complicated because the team to tackle for the fifth position is Bologna, and Bologna look great right now. And the only way to try and tackle Bologna is if we win on Monday, because if we start making our European fatigue and our excesses of energies too noticeable in the league, we're going to end up doing what we did last season with Mourinho, which is slowly start giving up on the league and then only basing ourselves on our Europa League and basing ourselves on this Europa League with teams like Liverpool, Brighton, West Ham, Bayer Leverkusen is a gamble, is a risk, and it's way too risky. We need to be playing Champions League football, so we need to try. I'm not sure how and what that way will it be. If it's via the league, via the Europa League, I don't have a magic glass ball. I don't predict the future. We just need to try and go well on both fronts. And we got to win on Monday against Torino. Simple as that. Again, as I said before, I expect a lot of changes. We'll go through the predicted 11 in a bit. I expect a lot of physical fatigue and a lot of mental fatigue because we just want a penalty shootout. The players will be knackered. The players will be tired physically, mentally, emotionally. They will also be pumped because they beat a big rival on penalties last Thursday. So yes, of course, there's going to be that sense of, I want to continue with what I'm doing. But they're going to be tired, and it's not going to be a surprise if on Monday the intensity is going to be lower, if the running spirit is going to be, if the fighting spirit is going to be limited. It shouldn't be that, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is going to be that, because we need to take in consideration that we just played one of the longest games in the last 5 years against Feyenoord that we've ever played. So yeah, it cost us a lot of energies, no doubt about that. But as always, preview, so we'll talk about them a bit, and then we'll see how we prepare for this game, and then I will unveil my predicted 11. As always, everybody welcome on the chat. Jules Cools, do you think Azmoun could have a serious impact for Roma off the bench when our attack doesn't perform during a game? Yes, I'm a bit surprised that Azmoun isn't getting many chances. Apart from that Frosinone game, again, against Feyenoord, he didn't get subbed in. So I'm a bit surprised on that front. But I trust Azmoun. I always said how I was wrong this summer. Criticizing him was wrong and it was immoral. I take what I said back. I love Sardar. I respect the human he is. Very respectful human being. And I like the way he plays for us. He plays with passion. He plays with pride. And I love it. I would rest him against Monza as well. Your analysis about Lukaku was spot on last night, Simo. Thank you very much. Right. So, where are, right, like target. Who is still hyped from that Feyenoord win? If you're still hyped, I need to smash the like. And I'm going to continue with this unrealistic like targets. I'm gonna go with 100 likes. I asked for 10,000 to get that tattoo in the stadium vlog. We're very far off on it, but I'm not disappointed the likes that video got. I'm gonna keep this unrealistic trend going. 100 likes on this video, and we're beating Torino on Monday. So, Torino. It's been a while since we faced Torino. The last game, it was towards the beginning of the season, 1-1. It was one of the first goals that Lukaku scored for us, and then Duvan Zapata with a header. And it ended 1-1. A tough stadium to play in. Now we're at home. Yet another sold-out stadium. Actually, I don't think it's going to be fully sold out this time because it's on a Monday at 6:30. I think a lot of people work. So I don't think it's going to be a fully sold-out stadium like last Thursday. But it's going to, I'm expecting 60,000 fans, 100%. So, Torino are a team which, I have to be very honest with you, I haven't followed much. I don't know about you guys, but I've never really come across Torino apart from when it's a big game where they play against us. But I've analyzed some of their stats, how their players play, how Juric sets up this team. And we can definitely say that Torino don't score many goals. That is one of the weakest points for this team. They don't score many goals. They've got interesting players. They've got physical strikers, Sanabria and Duvan Zapata. But they don't score many goals. They are a team which leaves their strikers very isolated, and they don't back their strikers with a lot of support. So Torino isn't a team which scores many goals, but Torino is a team which rarely concedes more than 2 goals in every game. They've got a laid out defense. They've got a solid defense. Their biggest defender is, of course, Buongiorno. He's been injured for this past month, but some sources are saying that he's going to be back on Monday. With Buongiorno in defense, this team is a great team in defense. Without Buongiorno in defense, I think this team is a bang average side in defense. Yeah, I think another thing about Torino is that they're very inconsistent. You know, maybe one day they go on and beat Milan at home, and then another game they draw 0-0 at home against Salernitana. So, yeah, very inconsistent side. Don't score many goals. They're definitely a team which is going to close down and try to hit us on counterattacks. So, that is the breakdown when it comes to Torino. In terms of players who I think we should be careful about, Duvan Zapata, obviously, Sanabria, they're physical strikers, so we need to be concentrated and well-organized in defense. Buongiorno, as I said, their goalkeeper Milinkovic-Savic, he's going to have that Milinkovic-Savic family rivalry against us. He's the Milinkovic-Savic brother, the Lazio guy, he's the brother. He's always a keeper which saves the sky against us. He saves the cloud. He saves everything against us every time he plays against us. And he's got a beef with Roma fans because he's the brother of Milinkovic-Savic, the Lazio guy who went to Saudi. But other than that, we also need to acknowledge the fact that Torino have... I'm not going to be that guy who says that Torino have over-exceeded my expectations, because I always think Torino's a mid-table team. They're a 10th team. They're somehow, with one way or another, they always end up 10th in the league. So I'm not going to say that they've over-exceeded expectations. But they aren't far off from Napoli. You know, they aren't far off from a Conference League spot. So winning on Monday for them would push them a bit. So that's something to consider. By the way, I believe some of my parents' friends have just arrived. So if you can hear background noises, Saturday afternoon here. So yeah, I think my parents got some friends in. Right, anyways, if you hear some background noises, don't pay too much attention to them. About us. So yeah, that's Torino. I think we need to be careful in a sense that we can't rotate every single player, because Torino isn't Salernitana. Torino is a well-organized side. You know, if we play with a completely new team because we want to preserve energies, because he's tired, so let me play him, with a team full of new players, new rotations, I don't think we're going to win. There needs to be rotations, but the base of the team, the core of the team, needs to be the same, because Otherwise, it's a risky game. And as I said at the start, we cannot end up losing points. It's that stage of the season where top four looks hard, but top four doesn't look impossible. Bologna are 7 points ahead of us right now with a game in hand. If we win on Monday, we'd be 4 points from Bologna. This fact that we could get 5 places in the Champions League is helping us. We need to keep the pressure going on Bologna. I don't see how Thiago Motta can get this team playing so well from August to June. I just don't think I don't understand how it's possible for Thiago Motta with a team, yes, a great team, but a team which doesn't have world-class players apart from Zirkzee. I just don't understand how Thiago Motta is able to get this team playing like this for 8 months straight. I'm convinced, and I'm still waiting for that decline. I'm convinced it's going to happen. I'm convinced Bologna won't keep this rhythm until the end of the season. That's why we need to keep close to them, hope that they fall, and then attack them and steal their spot. Because 5th place, 90% is going to get Champions League in Italy this season. So that's very important. But about us. As we said, fatigue, excess of energies, emotional, psychological drainage of energies, but a team which is over the moon. A team which looks like it's gotten the form back. A lot of players look like they got the fitness back. I'm not looking at Pellegrini, just him, but I look at the likes of Paredes, who is slowly becoming the fundamental piece to this puzzle. You know, I'm looking at Zvelor, I'm looking at Zaleski, who, yes, I'm not going to base my judgment on one penalty, but he does look a bit more confident. I think it's a rejuvenated team, a revitalized team. De Rossi has given a lot. De Rossi has implanted new mechanisms into this team. Yes, they still need to circulate. It still hasn't been fully implanted in the DNA of these players. But the unity looks like it's back. I'm liking this. I think De Rossi, up to now, deserves a contract extension. It's very early to base end of season judgments right now. But for what he's brought, for what he's given, seeing what everybody was saying this day Mourinho got sacked, I think he's overexceeded expectations. He's definitely overexceeded my expectations. I was never in a million years gonna think that De Rossi, the 16th of January, if you told me that we would have beaten Feyenoord, I would have gone, you're crazy. The fact that we lost one game, the momentum, we're playing football again. I am loving life. That's the truth. I'm loving life under De Rossi. It's still early. We gotta be calm, and on Monday we have to win. So yeah, the reaction that I expect on Monday is a reaction of players who are tired, but players who understand how important it is to win on Monday for our top 4 hopes, Champions League hopes, Champions League run hopes. That is my expectations for Monday's game. I expect a team which, they will be tired 100%, but that they will utilize their experience to make their way through the difficulties of Monday's game and try and get 3 points. Because if we add 3 points on Monday, again, imagine how more confident we'll be. Imagine how much more of the momentum will grow. Winning on Monday is very important. So, predicted 11. My predicted 11 is this. Expect a lot of changes. Ready for it? There we go. This is my predicted 11. Now look, I am the first one who just said that we shouldn't rotate much, because rotating much is a synonym of not getting 3 points. We need to balance things out. Lukaku needs a rest, Dybala needs a rest, and Pellegrini, I wouldn't rest him, but apparently I'm reading that he hasn't trained with the group today. That doesn't mean that he's injured. That could mean that De Rossi has decided to give him an extra day of rest and maybe train individually in the gym. I don't know. But normally, when players don't train with the group, it means that they aren't fit. It means that they are tired. It means that they have maybe a little muscle problem, nothing major, but they might have had something in the Feyenoord game. So the reason why you don't see Pellegrini is exactly for this. If Pellegrini's ready on Monday, Pellegrini needs to start. And I've said that. But apparently he hasn't been training with the group, so a bit of precaution on Pellegrini. Svilar in goal. I mean, can it even be? Can we even consider putting Rui Patricio? No. We need to use the confidence that we have thrown onto Svilar on Thursday and just make him even more confident and make him even more secure of the first role in this team. Can I just say something about Svilar? Concede me a little bit of fear, in a sense that I am not by any means trying to discredit Svilar here. Okay? Don't get this. Don't think that what I'm about to say is a criticism towards Svilar. No, I love Svilar. That guy, you're a hero. You're a hero to this fan base. But the law of this game, the law of football says that after such a heroic performance, in the near future, it's so written in the stars that Svilar is gonna bottle something. It's the law. It's the fundamental law of football. Heroic performance one day, the week after, he bottles something. It's just written. It's written in the stars he's going to bottle something. I'm not saying it's this game, but in the near future he's going to mess something up. Because he's going to be so overconfident of himself that it's normal. And that's why it's not a criticism. It's normal. It's the law of this game. Hopefully it's not going to be on Monday. Hopefully it won't happen. But, be aware that when these keepers turn into heroes, they get so confident on themselves and it's very easy for them to mess up, especially because they're still very young. He's still very young. So it's Svilar in goal. Good luck to Mile. Love you Mile. Love you. 4-man defense: Christensen and Angelino, Spinazzola and Korzop to rest. In the middle, Mancini can't rest because he needs to be the core of that defense, and Torino have got physical strikers. Zapata and Sanabria are physical, so we need a physical defense to counter that. Mancini and Ndika. I am really tempted to put Smalling from the first minute, but before putting Smalling from the first minute, I want to see Smalling getting subbed in for at least 30 minutes. This can be the game. If we, by any chance, go on a 2-0 miraculous lead at halftime, put Smalling in for Mancini. We need to test his physical conditions. We need to test his levels. We need to test his concentration, if it's dropped, his morale. Before starting Smalling from the first minute, we need to test him. It's a risk putting him in from the first minute. So I'm sticking with Ndika and Mancini, but Smalling is on the verge of starting and being back in my predicted 11s. That's a warning, because I miss him and I want him back. In the midfield, I'm keeping it simple. Bove back. He hasn't played in Frosinone and couldn't play against Feyenoord because he got a red card. Bove, Paredes and Cristante. Simple, classic, but efficient. Paredes and Cristante, they're the new machine. Especially Paredes, who under De Rossi is making us forget about Matic. He's everywhere on that pitch. He attacks. He can bring the ball forward. He's got a great touch. He slide tackles. He's aggressive. He can take penalties. Paredes is becoming very central to De Rossi's system. So De Rossi, we all wish we had De Rossi in that midfield. Not De Rossi. Paredes, Bove and Cristante in the middle. Everybody's asking, and I actually ask myself, Renato Sanchez, where is he? I always see him warm up, but I do ask myself one question. And that question is a simple question. Why is it that Mourinho excluded him? And why is it that De Rossi is excluding him? There must be a reason behind why 2 consecutive managers aren't picking Renato Sanchez. We can't say he's injured. We cannot say he's injured again, because nobody will believe it. The last time Renato Sanchez got out because he was injured was back in 2023. Renato Sanchez is injury prone, but surely he's ready to play a game. Why is it that neither Mourinho or De Rossi is picking him? Is he terrible? I'm not sure. Is he not giving the intensity that the managers want in training sessions? I don't know. I would love to give him one last chance, but I don't think it will happen. And this is my predicted 11, not who I want to start. So I'm keeping it classic, I'm keeping it simple, and I'm keeping it efficient. Up front, look at that. Lukaku, Dybala, and Pellegrini all resting, in my opinion. It's a risk, but I think it will happen. Baldanzi, Aouar, Azmoun. The AAB. It's the AAB trio. Azmoun as a first striker, Aouar and Baldanzi. When Aouar and Baldanzi got subbed in against Feyenoord, we didn't really create much. You can tell that the chemistry still isn't there. But, unfortunately, I trust these players. Aouar, again, same as Zalewski, even though I don't think Zalewski is going to start. But, just like Zalewski, that penalty that Aouar took, great penalty, shush the goalkeeper, he's going to give him a confidential boost. So I'm going to give Aouar start chance. Baldanzi, you know what my crazy prediction is for this game? If Baldanzi starts, Baldanzi scores. Remember I said this. If Baldanzi starts, Baldanzi scores. Remember this statement. Remember I said this. Clip this. Clip this. And Azmoun up front. Scored against Frosinone. Rested 120 minutes against Feyenoord. Back in the lineup. Maybe another goal would be great. Another goal would mean, and it would almost trigger that buyback clause from Leverkusen. I think if Azmoun scores again, not just him, but De Rossi is going to ask for Azmoun to stay and for Roma to buy him back from Leverkusen at the end of the season. So, look, the attack doesn't look amazing. It's a very risky formation. I agree, Daniele. It's a very risky formation. Fully agree. But I think there are players in this team that needs a rest. I think there are players in this team that not only need a rest, but deserve a rest. The one which really does deserve a rest is Lukaku. Lukaku is knackered. He's played every single game. Lukaku just needs to rest. I would rather start Dybala and not Lukaku in this game. Lukaku really needs to sit one out. Also to reflect on his previous mistakes and improve. So, sit Lukaku out on this one. If we need him, sub him in. But don't start Lukaku. Dybala, I'm not sure. I would start Dybala over Baldanzi and then sub Baldanzi in just to avoid risks. I agree. But I don't think Dybala is going to start because Dybala, played 100 minutes in that Feyenoord game. And we all know how fragile Dybala is. And getting Dybala injured at this moment of time in the season, it's just the last thing to think about. We've got Monza next Sunday, very hard game, and then we've got Brighton on Thursday. It's not the moment for injuries, and we needed to be precaution on the changes and the decisions that we make. The one that I will start is Pellegrini. I haven't put him in just because he hasn't been training with the group today, but that doesn't mean that he's injured. As I said at the start, it might just mean that he wanted to sit this one out. And De Rossi agreed to let him train individually in the gym today. I'm not sure. If Pellegrini's ready, I think Pellegrini's going to start because he's playing so well. De Rossi looks like he got the confidence back in him, and I think he deserves to start. So that's my predicted 11. Risky one, but hopefully the right one. Why is your name Roma Theory? What is the theory? I don't know, mate. I really don't know. I like the word theory. Theory of the concept, the theory of Romanism. Let's put it like that. Crazy how I came here because of Jose and now I still follow all your videos. Don't let the annoying Jose fans ruin what was a beautiful journey. Love that comment, mate. Love that comment. I'm glad that you're still in love or still being linked and still care about Roma. I love that, and you're always welcome here. I think we didn't need to play 120 minutes. We may even feel that effect for 2 games a week. Nah, I don't think 2 weeks, but yeah. Torino played 90 minutes on Thursday as well, and we're playing at home, so we should win. That's a good point. They played against Lazio. Apparently they played better than Lazio, but then ended up losing. That's again, shows you that they don't score many goals. But yeah, they did play, so fatigue is going to be on their side as well. of course, our fatigue is going to be bigger because we played more, and it was way more of a psychological fatigue as well because of the penalty shootout. But yeah, bring it on. I'm confident. I'm liking this. I'm loving this moment. I think we're back going. We just need to keep consistency and this momentum going. 3 points on Monday. Bring it on. Do you think we'll ever see Renato Sanchez again? I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't. Bovio to store just for that added security and resting Cristante or Paredes. I think people forget that Torino are a good team and this game is definitely losable. Of course, I mean, every football game is losable, mate. But we cannot start with the same lineup for every single game. There will need to be changes. And look, I might be completely wrong here, but expect changes. If you don't agree with this lineup, that's again, of course, you can disagree with the lineup, but expect changes. The lineup that started against Feyenoord is not going to start on Monday against Torino. Or maybe I should say I'd be very surprised if the same players that started that Feyenoord game are going to start this one. There are going to be some changes, without a doubt. Right, I'm going to end it here. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe as always. I've said it at the start, 100 likes on this video would be amazing. So let's try and hit it. Subscribe to the channel. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Saturday evening. And talk to you soon. Yeah, talk to you soon. Simo out.